According to the 2020 National Electrical Code, the ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI, protection for an outdoor hot tub can be located in the main breaker box, specifically if it's part of a dedicated circuit serving only the hot tub. Additionally, a disconnect switch must be installed on the outside of the house in close proximity to the hot tub. This arrangement meets code requirements. The purpose of the GFCI is to protect against electrical shock hazards. It constantly monitors the current flowing in a circuit and quickly interrupts the power if it detects any leakage to ground. This leakage could occur if someone comes into contact with a live wire or a faulty appliance, and the GFCI will trip the circuit, cutting off the electricity before a serious injury can occur. The disconnect switch serves as a readily accessible means to de-energize the hot tub for maintenance or in case of an emergency. Its placement near the hot tub allows users to quickly shut off the power without having to go back to the main breaker box. This is especially important in situations where someone is experiencing an electrical shock or if there is a malfunction in the hot tub's electrical system. When installing the GFCI in the main breaker box, it's crucial to use a dedicated circuit. This means that the circuit breaker and wiring are exclusively for the hot tub, and no other appliances or devices are connected to it. This helps to prevent overloading the circuit and ensures that the GFCI can effectively protect the hot tub and its users. The size of the breaker and wiring should be determined based on the hot tub's electrical requirements, which are typically specified in the manufacturer's instructions. Consult the National Electrical Code, specifically Article 680, for detailed requirements regarding the wiring of swimming pools, hot tubs, and spas. It is important to use the correct type and size of wiring for the hot tub circuit. This typically involves using copper conductors with appropriate insulation that is suitable for wet locations. The wiring should be installed in conduit to protect it from physical damage and moisture. Additionally, the grounding system should be properly installed to ensure that any fault current can safely return to the source. The disconnect switch should be a horsepower-rated switch that is suitable for outdoor use. It should be installed in a weatherproof enclosure to protect it from the elements. The switch should be clearly labeled to indicate its purpose, such as hot tub disconnect. The location of the disconnect switch should be easily accessible and visible from the hot tub. It should be within sight of the hot tub and no more than 50 feet away. This ensures that someone can quickly reach the switch in case of an emergency. Proper grounding is essential for electrical safety. The hot tub's metal components, such as the pump motor and heater, should be properly grounded to the grounding electrode system. This helps to ensure that any fault current can safely return to the source and prevent electrical shock hazards. The grounding electrode system typically consists of a ground rod or ground plate that is buried in the earth and connected to the electrical system. All electrical work should be performed by a qualified electrician who is familiar with the National Electrical Code and local electrical codes. This helps to ensure that the installation is done safely and correctly. A permit may be required for the electrical work, so it's important to check with the local building department before starting the project. It is also crucial to follow the manufacturer's instructions for the hot tub and any electrical components that are being installed. The instructions will provide specific details about the wiring requirements, grounding, and other important safety information. Regular inspections and maintenance of the hot tub's electrical system are important for ensuring its continued safety and reliability. The GFCI should be tested periodically to ensure that it is functioning properly. The disconnect switch should be inspected for any signs of damage or corrosion. The wiring and connections should be checked for any loose or damaged components. Any repairs or replacements should be done by a qualified electrician. In summary, installing a GFCI in the main breaker box for a dedicated hot tub circuit along with an external disconnect switch near the hot tub meets the requirements of the 2020 National Electrical Code. This arrangement provides essential protection against electrical shock hazards and allows for safe and convenient operation of the hot tub. Remember to consult the NEC and local codes for specific requirements and to hire a qualified electrician to perform all electrical work. Furthermore, it is important to understand the function and importance of both the GFCI and the disconnect switch. The GFCI is designed to protect people from electrical shock, while the disconnect switch allows for the safe de-energization of the hot tub. Both components play a critical role in ensuring the safety of the hot tub and its users. When selecting a GFCI, it is important to choose one that is specifically designed for use with hot tubs. These GFCIs are typically rated for higher amperage and are designed to withstand the harsh environment of a hot tub. The GFCI should be installed in a location where it is easily accessible for testing and maintenance. The disconnect switch should be a heavy-duty switch that is capable of handling the hot tub's electrical load. It should be installed in a weatherproof enclosure to protect it from the elements. The switch should be clearly labeled to indicate its purpose. The wiring for the hot tub circuit should be properly sized to handle the electrical load. The wiring should be installed in conduit to protect it from physical damage and moisture. The grounding system should be properly installed to ensure that any fault current can safely return to the source. All electrical connections should be made using approved connectors and fittings. The hot tub should be inspected regularly for any signs of damage or wear. Any damaged component should be replaced immediately. The GFCI should be tested monthly to ensure that it is functioning properly. The disconnect switch should be tested annually to ensure that it is functioning properly. By following these safety guidelines, you can help to ensure that your hot tub is safe to use. Remember, electricity can be dangerous, so it's important to take all necessary precautions. Now let us consider specific sections of the National Electrical Code, or NEC, that pertain to hot tub installations. Article 680.42 covers the general requirements for hot tubs and spas, and it mandates the use of a ground fault circuit interrupter, GFCI, to protect the occupants. This article details where GFCI protection is required. Article 680.42 subsection A specifies that all 125 volt, 15 amps and 20 amps receptacles located within 10 feet of the inside walls of the hot tub must be GFCI protected. Article 680.42 subsection B states that all electrical equipment directly related to the hot tub, including pumps, heaters, and blowers, must be GFCI protected. It's crucial to understand that this protection can be provided by a GFCI breaker in the main panel, as long as the circuit is dedicated to the hot tub. Article 680.12 discusses the requirements for disconnect switches. This section necessitates the installation of a disconnecting means that is readily accessible and within sight of the hot tub. The purpose of this disconnect is to allow for quick and easy de-energization of the hot tub in case of an emergency or for maintenance purposes. The disconnect switch must be rated for the voltage and amperage of the hot tub circuit, and it must be suitable for outdoor use. The NEC defines readily accessible as capable of being reached quickly for operation, renewal, or inspections, without requiring those to whom ready access is requisite to climb over or remove obstacles or to resort to portable ladders, and so forth. This means the disconnect switch cannot be obstructed or difficult to reach. It must be easily accessible to anyone using or maintaining the hot tub. The phrase "within sight from" as defined by the NEC means that one piece of equipment is visible and not more than 50 feet distant from the other. The disconnect switch must be within 50 feet of the hot tub and be visible from it. This ensures that someone at the hot tub can quickly shut off the power if needed. Proper bonding is another critical aspect of hot tub installations. Bonding refers to the process of connecting all metal parts of the hot tub and its associated equipment to create an electrically conductive path. This path helps to ensure that all metal parts are at the same electrical potential, reducing the risk of electric shock. Article 680.26 of the NEC outlines the requirements for bonding hot tubs and spas. This section specifies that all metal parts of the hot tub structure, including the metal shell, metal fittings, and metal piping, must be bonded together. The bonding conductor must be sized according to the requirements of the NEC, and it must be connected to a common bonding grid. This bonding grid is typically made of copper wire and is buried in the ground near the hot tub. The purpose of the bonding grid is to provide a low impedance path for fault current to return to the source, further reducing the risk of electric shock. In addition to bonding the hot tub structure, it is also important to bond any metal equipment that is located near the hot tub. such as pumps, heaters, and blowers. These components should be bonded to the common bonding grid using a copper bonding conductor. It's essential to use corrosion-resistant connectors and fittings when making bonding connections, as these connections will be exposed to moisture and chemicals. Regular inspection and maintenance of the bonding system are also crucial to ensure its continued effectiveness. Check the bonding connections for any signs of corrosion or damage, and repair or replace any damaged components as needed. When installing a hot tub, it's important to consider the location and environment. Avoid installing the hot tub in areas where it could be exposed to flooding or excessive moisture. The area around the hot tub should be well drained to prevent water from pooling. The hot tub should also be protected from direct sunlight, as this can damage the hot tub's components and increase the risk of overheating. It's also important to consider the proximity of overhead power lines. The NEC has specific clearance requirements for overhead power lines near swimming pools, hot tubs, and spas. Ensure that the hot tub is installed far enough away from any overhead power lines to meet these clearance requirements. When choosing a location for the hot tub, consider the accessibility for maintenance and repairs. Ensure that there is enough space around the hot tub to allow for easy access to the equipment compartment and other components. This will make it easier to perform routine maintenance and repairs. It's also important to consider the aesthetics of the hot tub installation. Choose a location that complements the surrounding landscape and creates a relaxing and inviting atmosphere. The hot tub should be placed on a level surface that is capable of supporting its weight when filled with water. A concrete pad is a good option for a hot tub base, as it provides a stable and durable surface. The concrete pad should be slightly larger than the hot tub to allow for easy access around the perimeter. It's also important to consider the privacy of the hot tub location. Choose a location that provides adequate privacy from neighbors and passers-by. This will allow you to enjoy your hot tub without feeling self-conscious. In addition to the NEC, there may be local codes and regulations that apply to hot tub installations. Check with your local building department to determine what permits are required and what codes must be followed. It's important to comply with all applicable codes and regulations to ensure that your hot tub installation is safe and legal. Hiring a qualified electrician is essential for ensuring that your hot tub is installed correctly and safely. A qualified electrician will be familiar with the NEC and local codes, and they will have the experience and expertise to perform the electrical work properly. When choosing an electrician, ask for references and check their qualifications. Ensure that they are licensed and insured, and that they have experience in installing hot tubs. A qualified electrician will be able to assess your specific needs and recommend the best solutions for your hot tub installation. They will also be able to perform the electrical work safely and efficiently. The cost of hiring an electrician will vary depending on the complexity of the installation and the electrician's rates. Get quotes from multiple electricians before making a decision. Be sure to ask for a detailed breakdown of the costs involved, including labor, materials, and permits. While it may be tempting to try to save money by doing the electrical work yourself, it's important to remember that electricity can be dangerous. If you're not qualified to perform electrical work, it's best to leave it to the professionals. Remember to always prioritize safety when working with electricity. Wear appropriate safety gear, such as gloves and eye protection. Energize the circuit before working on any electrical components. If you are not sure how to do something safely, consult with a qualified electrician. And a final point about GFCI protection is that GFCI breakers are designed to trip when they detect a ground fault. A ground fault occurs when current flows through an unintended path to ground. This can happen if someone comes into contact with a live wire or if there is a fault in the hot tub's electrical system. When a GFCI breaker trips, it cuts off the power to the circuit, preventing electrical shock. GFCI breakers are designed to trip quickly, typically within milliseconds. This rapid response time is crucial for preventing serious injury. It's important to test GFCI breakers regularly to ensure that they are functioning properly. Most GFCI breakers have a test button that can be used to simulate a ground fault. When the test button is pressed, the GFCI breaker should trip, indicating that it is working correctly. If the GFCI breaker does not trip when the test button is pressed, it should be replaced immediately. GFCI breakers can fail over time, so it's important to replace them periodically. The lifespan of a GFCI breaker will vary depending on the manufacturer and the usage conditions. As a general rule, it's a good idea to replace GFCI breakers every 10 years or sooner if they are showing signs of wear or malfunction. When replacing a GFCI breaker, be sure to choose one that is rated for the correct voltage and amperage. The GFCI breaker should also be compatible with the electrical panel in which it is being installed. If you are not sure which GFCI breaker to choose, consult with a qualified electrician. It is also a good idea to keep spare GFCI breakers on hand in case one fails. This will allow you to quickly restore power to the circuit without having to wait for a replacement. GFCI breakers are an essential safety device for hot tubs and other electrical equipment. By understanding how GFCI breakers work and by testing them regularly, you can help to protect yourself and others from electrical shock hazards. Following these guidelines ensures that the hot tub is installed and operated safely and in compliance with electrical codes. These measures are designed to protect the users and prevent potential hazards associated with electricity and water.